You want to know how to avoid Medicare penalties? I'm going to state something obvious, but the answer is sign up timely. So what does that mean exactly? Signing up timely for Medicare Part B means you either sign up during your initial enrollment period or during what is called a special enrollment period. Let's talk about both of them. So what is your initial enrollment period? It is a 7-month window surrounding your 65th birth month. It's the 3 months leading up to it, it's your birth month, and it's the 3 months after it. If you sign up during any of those 7 months, you will be signing up for Medicare timely. Now, for those of you already taking your Social Security the 4 to 6 months leading up to your birth month, you're going to get the card in the mail. And if you want to keep Medicare Part B, you will. If you need to reject it, you can. But you don't have to take the steps I'm about to discuss. So let's use an example to understand the initial enrollment period. What happens is, let's say your birthday is July 19th. You have April, May, and June to submit an application to Medicare to get a July 1 start date. If you wait till July to submit the application, you're going to get an August 1st start date. If you submit your application in August, you're going to get a September 1 first date. If you submit the application in September, you're going to get a October 1, and if you submit in October, you're going to get a November 1 start date. Any of those months of submitting a Medicare application means you've done it timely and you will not get a penalty. So you know when you're turning 65, mark these dates in your calendar. Now, some of you may be saying, wait a minute, but I am working and I have group coverage. Do the same rules apply to me? Let's talk about what's called a special enrollment period. A special enrollment period means that you may be somebody that has group coverage and you can delay starting Medicare. If you are able to have a special enrollment period when you enroll later, you will not be penalized for not starting Medicare at 65. So how does this work? To have a special enrollment period, you need to be still working or your spouse does, and you need to have group insurance. But let me divide you into two groups. There's those of you that work at a company with 20 or more employees or 19 or less employees. The ones with 20 or more employees, you can delay Medicare. You will not have a penalty. You can later show proof that you had insurance and submit a special enrollment period, and you don't need to let Medicare know that you are not applying. But for those of you who work at a company with 19 or less employees and you still have group coverage, you're going to want to apply for Medicare in that 7-month window that I already described. So why is that? It's not that you'll end up with a penalty because you do have group coverage. The problem is you don't have what's called a primary payer. When you're in a group plan with 19 or less, your plan pays after Medicare pays as a secondary payer. So if you don't get Medicare, there's a big possibility if you have a big claim that your secondary payer may not pay. They may pay, but there's also that chance. And why put yourself in that position? So what happens if you miss your initial enrollment period and you don't have a special enrollment period? You're going to enroll in a period called a general enrollment period. It runs from January 1 to the end of March. And if you enroll anytime during that 3-month window, you're going to get the start date of the first of the month of the next month. So that's great. You can get yourself into Medicare. The problem is if you went more than 12 months without having Medicare Part B when you could have signed up at age 65, you're going to have a penalty. And for those of you on the marketplace, the ACA, you may be thinking, well, I like my plan. First of all, when you turn 65, you're going to be losing some of those credits that keep your premium down. But you also will have a penalty if you stay in it and you apply later and you go beyond the 12 months that I mentioned. The other thing to know is for those of you who you think you're healthy, you haven't had insurance, and you're just going to wait, you too will end up with a penalty. So the bottom line is there's 3 main periods of time for enrolling in Medicare. If you do the initial enrollment period timely or you do your special enrollment period, you will not have Medicare Part B penalties. With the general enrollment period, it's possible that you will, or more probable, if you have more than a 12-month window where you've failed to sign up for B.